Today's episode is brought to you by Inspimind, inspiring and connecting college student leaders to deliver self-empowering stories to teens about self-love, fellowship, and resilience. If you're a college student looking to motivate the next generation of leaders, feel free to log on to inspimind.com. That's I-N-S-P-I, mind.com. So this is a Prof.Suarez podcast. I have two very special guests very close to me. I have the president of Inspimind, Wilfredo Betance. And I also have... What's your title, man? I don't even know.
Wow.
Just a secret ninja.
Just a janitor.
Super spy.
So I am a content developer. I think.
Nice. So we have the content developer. So we have both the president and content developer of Inspimind.
I would say he's the lead content developer.
Lead content developer. Ooh. Yeah, of course.
That's better.
From the president, Joseph Lebrón. And they're very close to me because they actually went to Montclair State University. We used to create programs together, and now they are taking over the world with their new business. So, Wilfredo, if you could give some of the audience some insight into what Inspimind is, what does the business do?
Well, we do a lot of stuff, to be honest. We work in 3 different sectors where we go to the school districts to motivate the students. We also work with the sector of inspiring them through the internet, such as videos and like podcasts that we're working on. And another way that we inspire the pretty much the team or anyone is in general is growing the team by going to different colleges and recruiting more student leaders at the collegiate level.
So it's a lot of leadership, but it's with college students, high school students.
Yeah, and exactly, and that's a really quick response. But like what we do overall is really to innovate, to inspire innovation with the Generation Zers, which are people who are coming in, the younger ones, like the teenagers that exist, the newcomers who are coming into college, because right now the baby boomers and like Generation X, they're leaving the industries, and the ones who are taking over are millennials.
Right.
But in the current school districts, a lot of, or even just the youth in general, they're getting advice from the baby boomers and the Generation X's, which are great people, don't get me wrong, but there's a disconnect. And that's why we're here. Millennials are here to bring this inspiration to the youth because they'll listen to us.
How long have you guys been doing this for?
4 years.
4 years.
It's a 4-year-old baby. Yeah.
Yes. So with all babies, first you teach them how to walk, but now you guys are looking to start running now, right?
Yeah, well, I want to start flying. I want to start flying right now.
So a little tidbit, not that a lot of people know this, but you used to actually be a pilot. You used to fly too.
Yeah. Just for any pilots who are listening right now, I'm a single engine land rated a private pilot's license where I could just fly like visual flight rules, meaning I can't go in clouds, but I could fly. That's it.
So wait, why no clouds?
Legally I'm not allowed to go into a cloud because I don't have the instrument, and I'm not legally rated to fly into a cloud. But if I happen to be in a cloud because I'm flying and I fly in one, all right, I could get out of it.
Yeah,
it's easy.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to. Like I could get a ticket for
flying in the cloud.
Yeah, for the FAA will issue tickets for pilots.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
Yeah, there's tickets up in the skies. Just like there's motor vehicle tickets and violations, there's also violations for the FAA.
So is there a lot of similarities to like owning a business and flying planes that you find, or
very similar?
How so?
Well, at least in the plane, if you screw up, you die.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No pressure. You're right.
But there's a lot of trial and error when it comes to. To be honest, I take a lot of like, one of the hardest lessons I had in my life was learning how to land a plane. Luckily, there was always an instructor that taught me, and I was probably one of the most slowest students in my class to learning how to land a plane. But what I learned was just kept trying. I kept listening from different pilots and different instructors until I finally got it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the only pilot that actually helped me land a plane was a female pilot. I don't know why I listened to her. Maybe she was attractive. I don't know. But
wait, was she attractive?
Yeah, she was attractive.
All right,
to be honest. But the funny thing is like, and this is why I feel like I work very well in the education field, because the education field is majority what was like 85% dominated by females.
Okay.
So I don't want to go into a tangent or anything, but me in my growing up, I was raised by a lot of women, And when I met the female instructor, she was patient with me.
Yeah.
And she helped me land, to be honest. And she basically was like dancing to use it's kind of like dancing when you use the rudders. So I take a lot of that. Yeah, it's like rudders. These are basically the pedals at the bottom of the plane, so you can turn it. So how does that apply with Inspimind and growing a business? Is because in Inspimind, I take a lot of advice from other people.
Yeah.
I'm in Inspimind, figuratively speaking, I'm trying to learn how to land the plane, and some person gives me an advice, another person gives me another advice, and I just keep listening to advices until something clicks. Just like that one instructor that helped me land that one plane.
Yeah.
So that's what I do, is keep listening, keep failing forward, and just keep adjusting.
Would you say that the biggest resource that's helped you out has been your network of people to help you, or network of expertise? Or is there another piece that you feel has been your contributing factor for like success?
I think it's me, my willingness to learn. I think I have a sixth sense that I'm able to know what it is. Advice that it's not relevant to what I'm trying to do, and I have a good sense of listening to advice that is relevant.
So it's like a discerning eye. Like it's like kind of like a chef's like knows like, okay, don't put sugar like in the soup. Like, you know, you have to figure out what ingredients go to the recipe of Inspimind's success.
Yeah, and like I said, I have a network, but not everyone in the network knows what it's like to make this recipe.
To make it work. Right.
Yeah. So, and I also have to be cool with the person too, to be honest.
Okay.
So,
do you feel like there's a lot of noise? Like a lot of people want to tell you how to...
Yeah, there's a lot. And to be honest, anyone here is trying to start your own project, your own business, you got to go with your gut. And also, just go with some knowledge too, to be honest, because you got to think of the practical aspects of stuff. But yeah, that's
Did you feel like your college education helped you to get that knowledge?
You know what? I mean, a lot of people will say no, but for me personally, I would say yeah.
Okay.
Because I am a big, and I'm like I was saying, I'm jumping from like Generation Xers and Millennials, and even Generation Zs. Like I could like relate to all three generations. And I'm the type. I'm like, when it comes to like learning, I like old school stuff. I'll be the type that will actually book learn things. My only way of succeeding in school was actually sitting down and reading a book and learning it. So a lot of things that I do in the organization, I read it in a book, to be honest. But other people who are other entrepreneurs, they may contradict what I'm saying. But what I'm learning right now within my own business, a lot of things that I've learned in classes, I'm actually applying it here. And the only reason why I'm applying it is because I've seen it in practice in other businesses. Like, oh, so that was from chapter 4, section A. And this business is doing it. Okay, so we should do it. So
that's cool, man. You got a lot of your knowledge from college, but you also got the talent that is Joseph Lebrón. How did
looking at me quiet right now? I talk a lot. So he's like,
this is fine. He's listening. This is probably like the first time he's heard some of this stuff. How's Wilfredo doing so far?
He's doing good.
Yeah.
And
I talk too much.
No, I've seen a lot what he's gone through from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And he's CEO, and he doesn't like being considered CEO because
he was the janitor that was cleaning up this mess that was here in the office.
He likes being considered the janitor because he just likes keeping a low profile and likes blending in between everyone, in between the environment, in between the generations, whether we're dealing with counselors or teachers, and then we have to relay that same information to people that are younger. You know, there's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
And his business, Inspimind, is that bridge. We go out to different schools and we bridge that gap between the teachers and counselors and what they can learn from the students and what the students can learn from, you know, the older teachers, but in a more dumbed down version where it's kind of like, wow, this is more realistic as opposed to reading it in a book.
Yeah.
You can teach you can teach a history.
Bless you, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right? That was
mad rude. Just like
previous program research intern putting her on blast right here. Just making
we got an intern here too. Yeah. Previous.
He was last semester.
She sneezed, so she's fired. So I mean, we're constantly trying to we don't use that same business aspect where it's kind of like, yeah, we got the CEO, we got the CFO. Like, we all are on the same playing field. We're all trying to inspire and trying to move the generations together. Once there's a gap, there's a misunderstanding, and then everything is all over the place. We see it today on the media, you know, in news. You know, young kids portray certain things on the news differently.
Right.
Older people think young kids are rebellious.
Yeah.
When young kids are just trying to understand things and trying to be artistic. So that is where we have found the niche where we can bring in our generation to kind of like ease that communication. And you know, from the beginning, Wilfredo has opened the doors to millennials,
wide open.
To people that want to motivate each other. Not even just young people. It's just like, I want to motivate someone. I want to inspire someone that's like my age, you know, and work with them.
So let me stop you there. Why do you guys feel, each one of you, that there's such a big gap as far as the generations?
It's a lot.
That's a really good question for Joseph to answer.
Yeah.
Mr. Joseph
There's a lot,
Lebrón.
and I'm actually writing a blog on millennials.
Oh yeah, so talk a little bit about that. How can our audience see your blog?
It hasn't come out yet, but I wanted to create a blog spot for Inspimind where we can justify everything that we do through writing.
Cool.
Also bring up topics from our millennial think tanks, which are events that we have that we create for college student leaders.
Okay.
Where they can come, connect, and talk about subjects that are pending today, you know, issues that we have in the household, issues that we have in relationships, issues, everywhere. And it's a millennial mindset, but we're trying to gather all that so we can pass it down to the younger guys.
Right.
So that when millennials are out the door, Generation Z or Generation XYZ or Generation
I don't even know. What generation is my son? Because like he's
Generation Z.
He's like the latest. He's
the latest one.
I like to call them Generation Zombies.
Generation Zombies.
Yeah.
Why you call them Generation Zombies?
They're on their phone.
They were born on their phone. They were born with a completely different reality.
Wow.
In front of them.
I think he might be the last of Generation Z, right?
He might be Generation A. New start.
He might be the last of Generation Z.
Generation.
Yeah.
Generation Final Destination.
Yeah.
You know. But to answer on the blog issue, so millennials, I created this blog to talk about millennials and, you know, the importance of millennials and where we're going, and the importance of keeping up with the generations. Once a generation loses a younger generation, like an older generation loses a younger generation, there's a disconnect. Whether it's outside working, you know, a lot of people make fun of millennials on the workforce, like going to an interview and how we're so almost stuck up where it's kind of like, I don't want to work the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I have a bachelor's degree. You know, while the older generations are like, I had to do this, you know, for
so there's
pennies.
like a loss of like working towards, you know,
it was like lost in translation where it's kind of like, and now the generations are opposing each other, you know, and the older generation doesn't like our style of thing. My mom is always, you know, she's always commenting on our generation. She says, oh, your generation doesn't know how to just work, and how the women don't know how to respect. And yeah, in a way, if you see certain things that we see in the TV,
that's a whole discussion. The feminist movement.
Like there's a lot going on, but our mindsets, they still can't understand what our mindsets are, what they truly are, and they can't see it from that perspective that I see Wilfredo's organization. They see it from their own perspective, and it's not reflective.
So it's like it provides the space to have that kind of debate and that discussion, and you guys do that through the think tanks, right?
Yeah, and so we create these millennial think tanks where, you know, opposing sides can just see and bounce off of each other and kind of just understand someone's viewpoint. We have self-love and relationship think tanks where it's simple things.
Been to the relationship ones. Those are good.
Just ask questions. We put a bunch of questions on a board.
Yeah.
We create categories, and then we just have discussions and eat and drink, and we just talk about it.
Just vibe out.
That's awesome.
Just vibe out, and then we take that same mindset and we bring it to the classrooms where now the kids can open up creatively and personally, not too personal where it's kind of like we're getting into the nitty gritty of their personal life, but we give that open door. We leave that open door open so that they can be themselves, because when they're in these schools, it's almost like they don't have the headroom. They have like a filter, a cap, you know, and they have to act a certain way.
Yeah,
so when a teacher's in the room, it's different. Like they can't be.
They could be themselves, be free.
Yeah, they can't be that same guy.
So you're liberating minds, pretty much, right?
Pretty much. I mean, that's where the Inspimind, kind of that title, inspire the mind, and it's trying to expand viewpoints.
Right, exactly.
It's trying to connect people, and literally that's what the education system almost is starting to lack, because now kids are learning in a different manner. We got a generation that is brought up on YouTube, and that is where they get their information. And then you have the older generation that's trying to like get them into the books,
right?
Because that's how they learn. That's what their parents put them through. And then they also have the side of like, okay, computers are coming out, but computers have been, you know.
So that's a good point. So which one, if you guys had to pick, which one is the best way to learn? Books, computers.
Well, there's different learning styles.
Right.
People learn by reading. People learn by, there's different learning styles. People learn by reading. People learn by doing. People learn by hearing, and people learn by watching.
So based on your experience, it depends on the person, and that's why you guys use like a eclectic style.
Exactly. That's why I don't believe to just knock off the textbooks, because people just want to read. Like that's why we do a blog. I mean, because people may be in a train or in a busy area and they can't hear.
But did you guys learn this from the books, or did you guys learn this like after doing a couple events? Like, oh, this is actually more effective.
I've learned this stuff because I happen to be working in a luxury of counselors, student assistant counselors. So I have a very big and I'm very grateful to be connected with counselors. I see like the scientific reasoning behind of all this stuff. Yeah. So I learned it by them. I didn't learn it by the books, obviously, but I learned it by them. The different learning styles. So just like today, I don't want to go on a big tangent, but I'm actually not. It's gonna go back. When you were talking about Joe, like one counselor told me that you are who you are, every single person. Like the way how you act with us, it's how you're naturally acting right now. The way how you act around a teacher, that's how you act when you're around a teacher. The way how you act around
different people bring out different things. Pretty much.
And that's all you. That's who you are. And to be honest, I'll give a shout out to Mr. Andy Yeager, who's the student assistant counselor from Park Ridge. He's the one that taught me that. So, and he said like I'm saying, and it goes back to the learning thing. You're with your friend. You're doing something that's risky. Yeah. With your friend, you're gonna act different if you're with your friend and your mom and you're doing something risky because the mom is there. Take the friend out, take your mom out, and put your girlfriend in there or your boyfriend. How would you react? That's all you.
Yeah.
So
they're all you, just different. Different shades.
So what I'm trying to say is that that's why we do these multiple kind of learning styles, because you learn when you read. That's who you learn at that moment, that way. But you also learn
by being around different people, by doing. Yeah.
So we all have those styles. We all have it, and it's just a matter of just knowing which one do we like more, or. So I wouldn't rule out the books. I would not rule it out. No.
And it gets a little bit more complex when you're teaching a subject that needs a little bit more structure from a book or from a lecture. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you don't want to skip.
No,
but
of course.
There needs to be a lot
like
more,
a surgeon. You don't want to skip it all.
There needs to be a lot more, interactive learning too. Because after a while the brain is just learning the same technique in all the other classes. These kids get bored. Yeah. It's like normal human being teenage lifestyle of just getting bored. I want to do something fun. Right. And so now the classroom needs to be integrated with those different learning styles so that it's like, oh yeah, this week wasn't so boring. It wasn't so bad. And then when they look back, it's like, I actually learned a lot.
Yeah.
Because, we did labs, we went outside, we did field trips, we did in-class projects, we did out-class projects, we
watched
video. We watched videos, we read in the books. Like, they need to keep their minds going, because, again, the generation of today, between millennials and Generation Zs, and it's only going to get more and more. We're operating under a whole completely different reality now.
Yeah.
We have the internet that's so vast and deep. We have music that's very it's really deep
really
emotionally.
abstract,
we have everything it's a completely different reality.
Different world.
And it's
the reason I asked is because a lot of my students are looking to develop their business and looking for what resources and different tools they could use. And sometimes, kind of based on your own personal experience, it might be useful to have different methods. Maybe you could learn a technique from a book, maybe you could learn it from an expert in your network, or maybe you could look it up online. But regardless, it depends on you and who you surround yourself with. That's what I'm getting. And to kind of wrap it up, what I was hoping is, if you guys have some advice, going into small business is not easy. Is there anything that you wish that somebody, a piece of knowledge that they have imparted in you that would have helped you out in your journey?
Do you want to start? Or?
You listen to the people who's putting money in your pocket. Listen to your customers. You talk to them. You need to build a gigantic. If you're going into a something really conventional, if you're building a pizza store, you could really. And then again, it's easier said than done, and you're gonna need the courage and the discipline to do it. If you want to build a pizza store somewhere at a certain location, one thing what I would do, and that's the way how we started Inspimind, but this is not a pizza store. This is like an educational business. But if I would have started a pizza store, I would go to the corner where I want to put it and ask people randomly who are walking around, hey, by the way, where do you get your pizza? And ask them and take a survey of 30, 40 people. They may say, oh, there's a pizza store around the corner. And everyone goes, all right, so I'm not going to open up a pizza store because it's close to it. Or maybe I can. Maybe I might offer something that pizza store doesn't have. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, I haven't eaten pizza, and I only eat pizza twice every 2 months because the nearest one is 20 miles away. Whoa, okay, so there's a pizza store needed here then. So in a nutshell,
talk to the customer.
Talk to your customer and continue to refine your approach. A lot of the ideologies that I'm saying about learning different styles that I just talked about right now is because I listen to our customer. Our customers are students and counselors, so I'm in constant contact from them. Those are the ones I'm listening to. A lot of them give me a lot of noise, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to bring us into the school. So
nice. Right. What about you, Joe? Any advice?
I haven't really started my own business. I've started ventures here and there, but what I've learned from the entrepreneurial mindset, because I was raised amongst entrepreneurs. My brother had his own business. My eldest brother wanted to do his own business. I have friends like Wilfredo and you, Augusto, same, doing their own things, their own business. What I've seen is just literally narrowing in on one thing at a time. From the development aspect.
Yes.
We sit down every week to kind of just talk about what we can do for an event or what we can do, and we come up with 30 things at once. And we want to do those 30 things at once, and it ends up that 30 turns into a negative 10 and sets us back because now everyone's drained. And now we're tired, or now we learned something else that we want to do, that we want to venture off to. It takes patience and one thing at a time. That's
one
it.
thing.
And when something is stressing you, take the step back, breathe. Go on Google, search whatever you want to do. Take your free time to kind of open your mind artistically.
Or go to sleep, take a nap.
Take a nap. Do things that it's going to make you normal again. And it's just one thing at a time. You have time, especially if you're in high school and middle school listening to this. I mean, what's the rush?
No rush.
You're trying to retire right now? Okay, well, I mean, there's steps to doing that. You can't just skip, because don't forget there's millions and billions of other people trying to do the same thing.
Well, I want to thank you guys for being my first interviewees.
Sweet deal.
We have more in store for you guys. And again, this is Professor Suarez with Wilfredo Betance and Joseph Lebrón signing off. Thank you so much. Take care.
Have a great night, guys. Bye.